Hello and happy Tuesday. My name is Wendy Lee and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the US and super happy to create a super cool, I think, interactive card. I'm not going to show you the interactive part until I move it over, but I'm telling you, I'm going to make this owl fly across my card. Yes, I am. And then, of course, we brought the design to the inside as well. So super fun stuff that I've got to share with you. So are you ready to switch over and start our paper crafting fun? Let's do it. Switch this over. All righty, perfect. So what you're seeing there is the Beauty of the Earth Designer Series paper, and that's what we're using in the background for this layer. I love this paper because it's got so many great patterns that can be used for fall or actually so many other occasions as well. This is really nice for a wintry background. You know, we've used this on a couple of other cards in my card club each month. So just lots and lots of great stuff. So glad you guys are joining me today. Hey, Jennifer, Gwen, Jean, so glad you guys are here. Very excited to see you. Yes, awesome. All right. So aside from the Beauty of the Earth Designer Series paper, I am also bringing in, and we're going to use this quite a bit, the Give It a Whirl dies. I'm going to show you how we're going to use those. And the stamps that I'm using is the Simply Succulent stamp set. Love the images on here, or the sentiments on here. Actually, love the images too. But I really like the font, and the sentiments are really nice and can be used for a lot of all occasions cards, I think. And then we're also going to bring in our stitched rectangle dies, which we're going to use. I got a little crazy with die cutting this time. So, all right, so let's go ahead and get started with this. Oh, wait, do you want to see the coolness? So first of all, you can totally pop that owl right off the front here, and then he'll snap back on. And let's see if I can get this to work. I'm going to spin this, and look, my owl is going to fly maybe a little upside down. Yeah, there he goes. He's upside down. But he will fly around my card. I might have to flip him over a little bit there. Get him back right set up. There we go. As he flies around the card. Fun? All right, so let me show you how we did this. You guys probably already have a guess on how I did it, right? All right, let's just jump in and have some fun with it. So as usual, after the live is over, I will go back and put the complete supply list and cut dimensions in the description of the video. So if you go back and watch it later, you got to hit the see more to expand all the words. And so you'll have your complete supply list so you can purchase all the items that you need to recreate this card. And then you can also see the cut dimensions to recreate it. So I will add that in afterwards. All right, so we are starting with a cinnamon cider card base. I've got this 4 1/4 by 11, looks narrow. So I'm just going to fold this in half and start here. Now I probably should have scored that. Sometimes when folding our cardstock in that grain, it kind of crinkles up at the top, but we've got it all smoothed out. We've used our bone folder. All right, I'm going to set that aside because we don't need this for just a moment. Next, let me bring in, and I've done all my die cutting already. So I'm going to bring in some of these layers and show you what I use to die cut those. So first I've got my Misty Moonlight layer, and this was cut with this layer here from the Give It a Whirl dies. Now, I don't know if you guys joined me a few weeks ago when we did a little turtle whirly card, but one of the things I think is awesome about this die set is that it puts that hole right there in there for you, which is very convenient, right? Then I've got a piece of, I've actually got 2 of them. I've got 2 wheels that I've cut out, again, with the Give It a Whirl die. So here's the second half of them. And so it cuts out this circle and it puts the hole in the wheel as well. So that's my spinner mechanism. I cut out 2 because I'm going to double up. I'm going to put this double thickness, and I used thick white because I found that because of what I've done over here, this makes this need to be a little bit sturdier than what you would need with just a single layer of cardstock, right? All right, so we've got that piece there. So let's start there and get that together. So we're going to bring in a little bit of liquid glue. And let's get these layers attached to each other so they can go ahead and start to dry. So when our project is finished, we'll be able to spin it without any problems. All right, so I'm just scribbling on a thin layer of that multi-purpose liquid glue. You could use Stampin' Seal if you prefer. I just feel like that's going to give me a little stronger bond. I can get all the way out to the edges of the circle. All right, so I'm just going to push that down for a moment, let that glue all squish. All right, so now I have a double thickness layer that I'm going to use here. I'm going to adhere these together or attach these together with a brad. So I'm pulling in our round and square brads. It doesn't matter what color or size you use. You can use the big ones, the little ones. It makes no difference. I'm going to go ahead and just use, I think I'm going to use, it really doesn't matter. Again, big one or little one, whatever makes you happy. So I'm just going to slide this down in the hole, and I will put it in the hole in the wheel as well. Okay. And then I'm going to just fold those legs over and give that a push down. I want to make sure that this is going to spin pretty easily. Great. All right, step one, ready to go. All right, next, what did I do next? Next, I've got a piece of the designer series paper, and I die cut this out with one of the stitched rectangle dies. So it's the third largest of the rectangle. So I've cut that out. So I am going to place this on this layer to cover that brad, but I don't want to put any adhesive over this because I want that spinner to move. You know what? I forgot to do something. Actually, it's all right. I can do it after the fact. It's not a big deal. So let's go ahead and put a little bit of adhesive on this layer here. Oh, and look, I put it right over where that brad's going to go. Well, we'll see what happens. Let me erase that. Or at least let's take some talc powder. I'm just taking a little bit of my, it's an old embossing buddy that I've got that's almost out of powder. But if you take a little bit of baby powder or any other kind of powder, it's that, at least I find, it's going to take the sticky off of that adhesive. So doing that makes it so that if my adhesive does fall right on top of that brad, which I think it's going to be a little bit below it, but this way I don't have to worry. I do not want this to keep my brad from spinning, because then my mechanism might not turn so well. Let's see. Oh, no, we're good. Yay. All right. So the thing I forgot to do, and I should have done before I put the wheel on, was adhere a magnet. So I am using these little bitty magnets. So this is the secret to getting our owl to fly, right? So I'm going to set one of them over to the side. The other one I need to adhere to this wheel. I actually wanted it on the front side of the wheel. So I am just going to take a glue dot. See if I can find some on here. There's one right there. And just get that a good push in the glue dot and lift that up. All right. So I'm going to place it kind of around in this area here, a little up from the edge, because I don't want it to be on the outer edge here. Actually, let's go ahead and just do it right along here. That way you guys can see. I want to end some because I don't want it to show when I spin this. So I'm just going to give that a really good push. Nice. So I should have done that beforehand, but you can see, you don't see it as I spin my wheel. All right, now I need to find where that magnet is. All right, so I just dropped the magnet on the front and it attached itself to that other magnet. That is what is going to make your bird fly around your card. See how it's attaching itself to that other magnet? So cool. I think it's super cool. All right, let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and grab, actually, I don't think I want to do this just yet. I'm going to put this on the card front first, and then we can attach our little owl there. So I'm flipping this over, and I found that I really like to use the foam adhesive strips when working with the Give It a Whirl dies, because I felt like I get a much better spin if this is lifted off nicely from the face, if I make any sense whatsoever. So you just have to make sure that wherever you place this, that you're allowing that wheel to freely turn, right? You don't want to keep that from being able to turn. So let's go ahead and just add these strips. And I want to give these just a little bit of a push so that they adhere down really nicely. Grab another one. And since we're not making a shaker card, we don't have to enclose all the edges. I just want enough there to keep that nice and stable. Give me the lift I'm looking for off my page. Nice. I'm probably going to be a little more excessive than I probably need to be, but that's okay. Doesn't hurt a thing, does it? All right, let's go ahead and add a couple right in here as well, just for good measure. Great. Oh, good. You like the magnet idea? Yeah, it's kind of fun, right? I think it's fun. So you do this with a bird, anything that flies. We had a pig set that had a pig with wings at one point in time. You could pull that one out and your pigs could literally fly. Something with a balloon, holding a balloon might be fun to do that with. So, all right, so we've got all this. Let's go ahead and just pull the backing paper off of these. Dun, 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 dun. It'd be like magic. All right. So we are going to plop this right down. Hopefully I'm going to get this centered and somewhat straight. Sometimes I have luck with that. Sometimes not so much. All right. I'm going to get that a good push right along that foam. All right. So now I've got my nice and stable card base and I can turn that super easy. Yay. I love that. So let's go ahead and attach our owl. So where did I get the owl? So the Blackberry Beauty ephemera pack has 40 images in it. It's 20, there's 20 different images, 2 of each design. And so there's 40 little images down in here. Pull these out so you can get a feel. I've used quite a bit out of here, or several out of here, maybe not a lot. But you can see there's tags and floral images. There's a few more frames and banners. There's another tag that fell out. There's some other fall flowers and leaves. So lots of fun images, and you get 2 of each of these sheets in a pack. So I'm only showing you half the pack. So the 20 unique images. And this is part of that Blackberry Beauty product suite that we are featuring as part of our Blue Ridge Stampin' Escape. So if you guys have not registered for that yet, I'm telling you, you do not want to miss those projects. Dana and I have some cool stuff for you. And I think we're going to try to go live Wednesday evening and show a sneak peek. You know, we get a little silly on the videos. All right, so I'm adding a glue dot to the other side of this magnet. And I'm going to go ahead and attach this lovely owl right to that glue dot. So I'm just going to give it some really good pressure. I want it to stick to that glue dot really, really well. All right, so there's my owl. And now he can fly. Super cool, right? I think it's fun. Okay, let's continue. Let's see. Oh, I should tell you. So the ephemera pack currently is back ordered. So you can order it. But it looks like it's not going to arrive until probably the first week of November. So those of you that have joined us for the Stampin' Escape or are thinking about joining us for the Stampin' Escape, if you're worried about that, I do have a few kits that I have already ready to go, but then we could have some delays as well. I mean, that's just part of the world we're in right now in dealing with the lovely COVID-19 and all the shipping delays that it is causing us. Not so fun, but happens. Oh no, I think I lost my arrow. All right, so somewhere. Well, if we don't find it, we don't find it. Or maybe I'll find it as we go here. I had a little arrow to put right here. So let me pull out the Give It a Whirl dies again. So you can die cut these little arrows right here. And I did it with some adhesive backing on the back and die cut that so that we would have our fabulous arrow to just slide down on our project. Maybe I'll come across it before we're done. It's probably one of the 1 million little bits on my floor that I need to vacuum. If we don't find it, I can always pull out a die cutting machine and die cut another one if need be. So let's see what we come up with as we go here. All right, next. I've got a couple of foil leaves that I've die cut using the, did I bring it? I didn't grab it. Nope, I have to get them. It's the Beautiful Leaves dies, also part of that wonderful product collection that we are featuring at the Stampin' Escape. Let's see if I can find that. I may have buried it. Looks like I buried it. Good grief. Well, so much for thinking I had everything pulled out. Thought I had everything pulled out. I buried it on the other side of the table. Found it. Yay. All right. So we die cut some leaves. I used this die right here to get those two kind of coppery looking leaves. So that's from the brushed metallic cardstock. And we're just going to use these as little accent pieces. Okay. Next, I got my sentiment and I die cut this using one of these shapes here. I use this one right here. So these are really intended to be used to cut a window, the way that the Give It a Whirl die is intended to be used. You would stamp on the wheel an image or a sentiment, and then you could cut out the window. And as you turn the wheel, new things would keep peeking into the window. So what's really cool is when you go to lay this down, it all just lines up, right? So when you go to cut it, the window out of the wheel is what I'm trying to say. You just line up with the hole and it's just going to cut that window. So I use this just to cut out this little rectangle to use as my label for my sentiment. Cool. So you can use these pieces in lots of different ways is the point I'm trying to make. Let's bring in our Misty Moonlight ink. And I cut this right out of this designer paper. So you see as it fades lighter, this piece, when you cut it in half, there's some lighter images up at the top and then it repeats the pattern on the other side. And so I just grabbed this right out of some of that splatter. Let's see if I can get this down. Oh yeah, the leaves would be great in the cork paper. I agree with you, Jean. There's my little thanks. All righty. I love the cork paper. It's very nice. We used a little bit of cork paper last week, right? All right, so let's go ahead and I think I'm going to adhere this to the back of this sentiment first. Just use a little Stampin' Seal. That way I can kind of get my leaf placed where I want it on the sentiment itself. And then I want to adhere this right down to my card base. And you know what? I think I'm going to drop in a little bit of liquid adhesive because I do want that leaf adhered down. With the spinner mechanism on there, I just want to make sure that I don't have anything that's going to keep it from moving. Have you guys gotten these dies yet? The Give It a Whirl dies? They're so much fun. I highly recommend it. Granted, there's so many things that I love. All right, so that is nice down there. So I do have it overhanging that edge. I think that's kind of fun, overhanging that edge a little bit so it's not so lined up in the corner. So cute, so cute, so cute. So maybe I'll find this arrow before we're over. I'm not so sure. I think yeah, anyway. We're not going to be all that hopeful that we'll find it. All right, let's go ahead and move to the inside of our card. So let me show you that. So again, I've just got a couple of die cut rectangles and we brought the design inside with the leaf. So let me bring in my stitched rectangle dies. So it's this one here. And I die cut this second largest out of Misty Moonlight. And I think it's the fourth, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, the fourth largest in the white. Good deal. All right, so let's go ahead and stamp our sentiment again. I'm bringing in the Misty Moonlight. And again, these are from the Soft Succulent stamp set, right? So I also have registration, if you guys hadn't seen it, open for Maker's Mojo. So we have a special edition coming out for World Card Making Day. So if you don't already have plans for World Card Making Day, and even if you do, it's all going to be recorded while we're doing them as live presentations. It will all be recorded so you can watch it later. And I am doing some cool stuff. I'm not going to tell you. I do have an interactive project that I'm going to show you how to create, different than this. And we show multiple variations. So we'll demonstrate one with a set of products, and then we'll have alternates with other products. So you guys can see how you can use what you have on hand. You don't have to buy new stuff, right? So the whole point is to get your creative mojo going. So if you found yourself in a little bit of a creative rut, need a little inspiration, we would love to join you. There's 5 of us this time, so there's 10 live presentations. And we even have some extra fun stuff planned since it's World Card Making Day. So opportunities to earn more prizes than you have in the past as well. So very cool. All right, so there's my little leaf right there. Love that. And I like having it hang over the edge. All right, I never found my arrow. So here's what I'm going to do. We'll see if I can get this out of the die. So I did notice when you cut this die, it will cut a small arrow and a large arrow. Looks like my cardstock is still in the small arrow. So we can put a small arrow on our card today. Got this little bitty arrow. So I actually put adhesive sheet on the back of my cardstock and then die cut it. This makes this a peel and stick sticker. So much easier to use in that way versus trying to glue this down with those little bitty parts, right? Now you could put this on your silicone craft sheet and use a dauber and add glue to the back of it as well if you don't have adhesive sheet. So there's ways around it, but I like the whole peel and stick idea. So we're just going to use this. Now they really could turn this arrow either way or spin this wheel either way. However, I think it's good to put the arrow on there so that you can kind of tell them it does need to spin, right? That there is a spinning going on. I don't know if people know that when they see this, they're spinning. This set also has these stitched arrows that you can put this through the die cutting machine, and it's going to give you a stitched arrow direction on there as well. So it's a little more subtle. Very cool. All right, so we've got that down. So we're ready. I didn't even put any bling on this, and you know, it didn't need it. I didn't want it to interfere with my flying owl. Let's see if he flips upside down. No, he didn't this time. Gonna move him around. Fun. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Super cool. Do you guys like this? Yes. I love it too. I'll have to do one. Wouldn't that be cool with the ghost flying around from the cutest, what is it called? Cutest Halloween bundle? That would be fun too. I might have to do something with that. That would be a lot of fun as well. All right. I hope that you guys love these. Know that we've got only 9 days left of Celebration, which is our promotion where when you spend $50 or more, you earn free product for every $50 you spend, which is awesome. So only 9 more days to take advantage of that and get all those goodies that you had on your list. That also means there's only 2 more weeks to join my team and get an extra bundle for free. Of course, you can join the team anytime you want to join the team. It's $99. You choose what's in your starter kit. The shipping is free, and you choose $125 in product. That's our everyday value. And then during Celebration, of course, you get the extra bundle. We'd love to have you join our team. We're awesome, right? Oh yeah, a floating skull would be awesome too. Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, the magnet's kind of a fun way to use it. Like I said, I think these dies can be used for so many things other than how they're intentionally designed to be used. So, all right, what else? Oh, don't forget to share the video with your crafty friends if you're enjoying the content. I very much appreciate that. And if you're watching on the replay on YouTube, please subscribe to my channel. All right, I hope everybody has a wonderful week, and I will catch you next Tuesday for a little bit more of paper crafting fun. Thanks again, and bye for now.